Good afternoon, everybody. I hope their week is off to a good start. I am TAC chair. I've taken over for Barb Smith for the coming year. And so let's go ahead and get started with the roll call and certification of a quorum, please.
Absolutely, Chair. If I do notice, we're going to have Mo do that. And this is her first TAC meeting, so this is her first time calling the roll.
Thank you, Janice. Good afternoon, everyone. Like Janice said, this is my first time taking attendance for this meeting, so if I miss anyone, please feel free to let me know. Town of Ashland, Miss Amos.
Here.
Thank you. Charles City County, Miss Adams. Mr. Mitchell. Chesterfield County, Vice Chair Smith. Miss Walker.
Here.
Goochland County, Mr. Longerbeam.
Here.
Mr. Cash. Hanover County, Chair Vidunas.
Here.
Henrico County, Miss Smidler.
Here.
Miss Austin. New Kent County, Miss Inman.
Here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mr. Riblett. Powhatan County, Mr. Webb.
Powhatan. That's
Thank you.
that's good. I put a
Powhatan.
I say Powhatan sometimes for joke, but anyway, yeah, we're definitely here.
Thank you. City of Richmond, Miss Clark. GRTC, Mr. Adarkwa.
Present.
Miss Robinson. DRPT, Miss Dubinsky. Mr. Hudson.
Here.
Thank you. CVTA, Mr. Parsons.
Here.
VDOT, Mr. Hagan.
Here.
Miss McAdory.
Good afternoon. Here.
Good afternoon. Plan RVA, Mr. Bushing.
Here.
RMTA, Miss Dean. Virginia Port Authority, Miss Nelson. All right, thank you, everyone. Based on the attendance, I certify that a quorum is present and we may proceed with the meeting.
Excellent. So moving right along, next item would be consideration of any amendments to the agenda. Does anybody have any agenda changes to propose? Okay, seeing none, we'll move along to item 4. Item 4 would be consideration of approval of the July 14, 2025 meeting minutes found on page 4 of your agenda. You all have had a chance to look at those. Does anybody have any changes or make a motion for approval of the meeting minutes, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second, do we have a second?
I'll second that motion.
I don't know who hopped in there first. We'll give it to Patrick. Okay, this will be handled via voice vote. So all in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any abstentions? Any nays? Okay. The minutes are approved. This next item is opportunity for the public to comment. Do we have anybody online that wishes to, or maybe even present, that wishes to speak to the committee? Okay, I take that as a no. So next item is consideration of 5 draft SPA agreements. These are VDOT administered projects. Chet is going to address this item.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we have, as the chair mentioned, item 6, starting on page 6, there are 5 standard project agreements that are brought forward by VDOT for consideration. For those who are new to the committee, these are the agreements that need to be executed before any reimbursement process can be begun for projects that receive Cvta regional funds. So the 5 projects that are listed here, and I'll just read through them quickly. Cvta 34, which is the I-95 Route 10 interchange in Phase 2 in Chesterfield. Cvta 49, Route 288 southbound auxiliary lane in Goochland. Cvta 51, Route 250 and 288 interchange improvements, also in Goochland. Cvta 54, I-64 exit 211 interchange in New Kent. And Cvta 60, I-64, that's actually not I-64, that is US 60 and Virginia 13 intersection improvements in Powhatan. So those 5 projects have already been included in the Cvta allocation plan and have received funding in the first 3 rounds of Cvta regional funding commitments. So this is a request from VDOT to recommend approval and signature of the draft standard project agreements by the full authority at its meeting August 22nd. This will also go before the Finance Committee on Wednesday for their review as well. Mr. Chair, that's it. I can take any questions if there are any.
Okay. Any questions or comments about the agreements?
Yes, I have my hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Yes.
okay. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question. On our exit 211, on the schedule, pretty much everything's to be determined. But on all the other SPAs, this information is complete. So I guess I'm a little bit concerned that we really don't have a well-defined schedule. And also, I want to confirm the amount, Chet, because it's 803, or I'm sorry, it's 18,305,150, but I also have a note that it's 805, I'm sorry, 18,305,893. So I just, I think there is a discrepancy. So I want to make sure that we have that right, the right number.
Yep, Mr. Chair, I can address these.
Yes, Chet, sorry.
Okay, so the second question first, Amy, the 18,305,150 is the amount that is included in the allocation plan, and VDOT has made that adjustment in their records as well. So that's the number to use moving forward as a Cvta commitment.
Okay.
And then Larry can correct me, but I believe that the schedule is the way it is because it is design build, and a lot of those things are baked into the process.
Yeah, I can add to that, Chet. So, Amy, I'd mentioned this in the email I'd sent you. It's still a work in progress. The schedule, the dates that you see are the dates that we shared with the commissioner for this project. And we just got approval for it to be design build. So we're in the process right now of working with the project management office to establish the full schedule. As soon as we have it, I'm going to update the spreadsheet with all of those specific dates that are applicable. But those are the main dates for a design build.
Yeah, and it's these dates are consistent with what we've been discussing. It just seems a little concerning that we don't even know, we don't have a scoping meeting date. We don't even have an end date on the construction. So everything else on all the other projects have that. Was a decision not made? Are they all design build?
No, they're not all design build.
Okay.
And we just last week got approval for this to be design build.
Right.
So we're in the
Okay.
process of building that design build schedule. But that design build schedule will be consistent with a lot of what you see here for the main design build milestones.
So how will this be updated at some
Absolutely.
point? So Chet, when will we see that? We want to be able to have agreement on the schedule.
Yes, that's a great question. Anybody who is a TAC member want to chime in on when we would see those updates? And this is a test.
Yes, quarterly.
Yes.
Well, I meant, sorry, let me be clear. When would it come back? So,
Well, there will be
I mean,
quarterly updates. So VDOT would update the schedule according to latest information. The next one would be the end of September, early October.
okay, well, I guess we're gonna want to see that before then. Or I mean, as soon as the schedule is available, I think it's, this is a little bit concerning that we don't have these dates. And we're asking for approval of funding for our project that doesn't have a complete schedule yet. So it seems a slightly premature to me.
But we do have a complete schedule in terms of the main milestones for a design build. All of the, those interim milestones, there will be some that will be added. There's still going to be some there that they will switch from TBD to NA because they won't be applicable because of the design build schedule. So in terms of the main things that have to happen through a design build, they're reflected here. And, of course, Amy, as soon as we have the full design build schedule populated in the system and approved through the PMO office, we'll be sharing that with you, and it'll be consistent with this.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments about this? Okay, so the recommended action would be to recommend approval to the full authority with the agreements as they are presented. So we'll need a motion in a second, and we'll handle this via voice vote.
Mr.
Is
Chair,
it to the full, sorry, is it to full authority or to the finance committee?
The agenda says full authority, at least the.
Yes, sir. It is the full authority.
Okay.
Yes. So again, so we're looking for action to recommend to the full authority as presented. The draft SPA agreements will need a motion in a second.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to recommend the recommendation for the SPA approval to the CVTA, the approval of this standard project agreements as presented.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion. We need a second, please.
Joe, this is Chessa. I second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Can I just make one other quick comment? Amy, just want to make, and Chet too, because, I can certainly revise this as needed as we move through this month, but I did have a highlighted note right above the schedule for the SPA for Exit 211. It says schedule assumes a yet to be approved design build two-phase delivery method. We've now got that approved. So I could update that if you want to reflect that we have an approved design build schedule, but we're still working through development of the specific schedule. That's not something that, we can turn around really quick. It takes a little bit to do. But yeah, I can revise that if you want, or we can leave it the way it is. You just let me know whatever you're most comfortable with.
I mean, Larry, as far as the CVTA is concerned, let's wait till you have the schedule.
I would agree.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
nays? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Okay, so the next item is a information item concerning the regional quarterly reports. So Chet, again, will take this item.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is an update that came about at a request from the Finance Committee. If you look at packet page number 47 for the staff report, this is actually, this is dealing with CVTA regional funds. This is actually, there's an excerpt in that staff report from the standard project agreement. So anytime, I believe this is both VDOT spas as well as locality CVTA spas. There is reporting information required for review by the finance committee when localities or VDOT submit reimbursement requests for CVTA regional funds. So what we are doing here is providing on a quarterly basis an updated, essentially status report of what project spending has happened so far. I'm going to share my screen just so we could talk about it together. Okay, so if you look at this, this is, I believe it's page 48. This is all of the existing funding commitments. And okay, can everybody see that?
No.
Yep.
Not yet. There you go.
How about now? Okay.
Hold on.
It's still black, but it says okay, now.
Okay. So this is all of the existing funding commitments through round 3 of CVTA regional funds. And from left to right, it just provides project information starting with the CVTA ID, the project name, UPC if applicable, which locality it's located in, and then the allocation plan date, which is, it would have been one of 3 dates corresponding to allocation plan 1, 2, or 3, so following rounds of funding. The estimate, this is best known estimate provided by the locality or VDOT. CVTA funds that have been committed to a project to date, other funds that are known, and again, that is information provided by the locality or VDOT, and then balance to complete, just doing the math across the table. And then the final column is really what Finance Committee is keying on is this is the amount reimbursed through our SPA process as of July 10th. So there are a number of, I know a number of you have reimbursement requests that are currently underway that have not been fulfilled yet. So they may not be showing up on the screen. But again, this is just something to be able to follow along, especially for the Finance Committee, as the chair of finance is responsible for signing off on reimbursements. But it gives a good point in time update on projects that have received regional funding and what the status is of those reimbursements. So you can get an idea from this, is a project underway? A project may have gotten a funding commitment back in 2021 through our first round of funding, and it may not be underway yet. So that may be an opportunity for a conversation about, project status. What is the allocation window for that project? Maybe that project was awarded funds in 21, but isn't due to start receiving and spending those funds till 26, for example. That could be a case. But this is a first glance review tool for the Finance Committee and for you guys to see where things are in terms of reimbursement process. So that's an information item for today, Mr. Chair. Happy to take any questions. And I've already had a request from a member of the Finance Committee to include the allocation years as another data point, another column in this table. So that'll provide some more information as well. But that'll be the next time we update this table, that'll be in there. With that, I could take any questions or we can move on to the next item.
Are there any questions or comments about this? Yes, Larry, please.
Hey, Chet, so I submitted all 11 of our quarterly reports through your portal. Just want to make sure you got them and everything's good there.
Yes, absolutely received.
And so when John submits our reimbursement request, should I have him use what I just put together for the latest quarterly reports with the milestones and the status and that?
Yes, ideally, that would be the
Okay.
case. And
Okay.
just to kind of reiterate that with everybody else, if you've been updating, hopefully you have updating your quarterly reporting with Appendix A. It has the pink table at the bottom instead of the blue one, but it gives an opportunity to update a schedule, as well as provide a project summary, some narrative in the middle. When you submit reimbursement request, use the latest Appendix A that you provided to the CVTA, not the one that was included with the original SPA. If we need to, staff can go back and insert that new item in the reimbursement request, but if it's coming from you originally, we would certainly appreciate just putting in the correct one at the beginning. And if you have questions about that moving forward, just contact me separately. That doesn't really have anything to do with this table, but that's more focused on the individual reimbursement requests.
Amy.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I asked a question a few meetings back, and that is, how do the localities, how do we gain access to the VDOT reports? So, you just said, oh, wait until the updates for the VDOT schedule that should be showing up in the project agreement. How do we gain access to that information in terms of the reimbursement?
I'm sorry, Amy, are you referring to a particular project, like a New Kent project?
Yeah, so when VDOT starts drawing down, we're executing a project agreement right now that doesn't have a full schedule with it, or at least we're recommending that to the full authority. You said wait until we get the updated, quarterly updates to gain that information. Okay, but then once VDOT starts drawing down on this grant, how do we gain access to that information? I'd asked that question a few meetings ago, and you said that there might be some privacy concerns about that.
Yeah, and I think, Mr. Chair, I'm not sure this is a conversation for everybody to have, but I'm not comfortable sharing the reimbursement request for individual projects with the entire technical committee. That is something that goes to the finance chair as well as our fiscal agents for review and approval. I made the assumption, maybe incorrectly, that a VDOT administered project, that localities are going to be clued into what the status is of all of that. So, but that's not something I can answer directly, Mr. Chair.
So, I think I said, how does the locality gain access to that information? Not everybody. That was the question. And I think the drawdown on the funds related to the project that CVTA has allocated, that may be a different drawdown, right? I mean, that may be different project information. I'm not sure that we would necessarily be aware of that. Obviously, if you have reimbursements requests coming from VDOT for local funding, then we're going to know what they're drawing down based on that information. But I don't think we otherwise would have any indication of what's being requested from CVTA.
Larry, can you address Amy's question?
Yes, definitely. So, well, yeah, Amy, what we're building into it's a separate agreement, right? The VDOT locally administered agreement, not a CVTA SPA, but that second agreement, that language that I provided to you that spells out how we will be working with the county as we work our way through the project. There's going to be monthly status update reports, which will include expenditures to date, and we can include draw requests from CVTA, no problem. I mean, I think you're going to get that, on a regular basis through our reporting.
Okay. We'll make sure that's in the agreement as well as other things. Thank you.
I also have a comment. So the regional quarterly reporting information, none of that information appears in the spreadsheet that is provided in the agenda package, which all of that is collected via the Appendix B Appendix B. Is that correct? So, Howard, Chet, can you explain how you're using the regional quarterly status update information, and should some of that information perhaps be included in this spreadsheet that shows the expenditures?
Sure. Yeah. That's a great question. So the quarterly reporting, the spreadsheet that everyone is updating with project schedule summary is directly related to the reimbursement request process. So that is information that is included. I'm sorry, let me go back to if you look at the staff report, we're kind of addressing the requirements of the SPA through both of these tools. So from this standard project agreement, submit quarterly progress reports, quarterly progress and expenditure reports and invoices with supporting documentation to the Cvta, including copies of vendor and contractor invoices paid by the locality or VDOT. All of those things are included right now as supporting documentation in the reimbursement request. So when your finance department or you send in the reimbursement request, all of this information is currently included. So everything that I'm highlighting right now is currently included in those reimbursement requests. What we did not have in these reimbursement requests until now is an up-to-date project summary and schedule. We had originally included the schedule that was approved when the SPA was originally executed, which for some of these projects is back to 2021. So this is what is being included now in the spreadsheet submittals on the member portal. That's that Appendix A and Appendix B is providing this information. And then the cash flow summary of all payment requests is Appendix B. So the first one was Appendix A, this is Appendix B. So that's the information. And the use of the portal to do that was to be able to provide a more streamlined process to distribute the spreadsheet and then to receive the updated information back, rather than trying to send out multiple emails and receive emails from everybody. Cut down on that kind of traffic and just use the website so that people can update their information in a timely manner. I mean, Joe, in terms of the summary of the reimbursement status that was in the packet, we could certainly include some of this schedule information. That's kind of in line with what I mentioned briefly was what's the allocation plan, what's the schedule for these projects to help with the interpretation by the finance committee. But this is a work in progress, and I'm happy to add any additional information that might be useful to the table.
That was really helpful for me. It's just a lot to kind of wrap your head around organizationally. I mean, all of the information makes sense that we want up-to-date schedule information. We want to know where the projects are in terms of schedule, in terms of balances and expenditures, all good information, and plus it's required for the SPA. So, yeah, it did take me a little while. So wait a second, we're submitting schedule information when we submit a reimbursement request, but you've clarified that's just repeating what is in the SPA in terms of the schedule. And this new reporting is actually an opportunity to provide current schedule information. Do I have that right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Excellent. So let the record show that I did submit the regional project information. But this next item, local quarterly project report that Chet's going to address, for the record, Hanover is delinquent. That's on me, and I hope to have that submitted in a day or two. But I have all of this stuff in my Outlook and reminders, and so I hope to be much better in the future going forward. Go ahead, Chet.
Great, thank you. So we just talked about the updates on regional CVTA dollars. This is the local CVTA dollars. This is the local money that you all receive, the 50%. Hopefully this spreadsheet is familiar with everyone now. This again is accessible through the member portal, and the link is there to provide your updates back to us. It goes directly into the SharePoint once you have your new information included. So what was in the packet today was, I believe it was as of July 30th. This is everybody's reporting for sometimes Q3 and Q4 for fiscal year 25, so ending June 30th of 2025. So I believe there's 4 or 5 pages here. You can scroll down and verify that we entered the correct information that you provided. We've double checked it. I think it's pretty close. So some jurisdictions have shown spending on some projects, some have not, but it's really a good indication of where things are in terms of what CVTA local dollars were committed to a particular project and what the spending has been. We do break this down all the way back to fiscal year 21, so the beginning of the CVTA. If there were projects that received CVTA local dollars back then, we're keeping track of all of that to date. So this FY25 in the next quarter will be collapsed, and we'll have a Q1 of FY26 available in the spreadsheet for everyone to update. I could take comments or corrections now. Mr. Chair, I prefer if anyone has any updates to make to it, please reach out to me separately afterwards, and we can get that addressed very quickly for inclusion in the quarterly reporting.
Sharon, you have your hand raised, then. Yeah.
Just a quick question. So once the Q4 information is right, it'll be updated to the member portal so everybody can see it, or after it goes through a certain level of approval? Or is it the Q4 data already? When I looked a little bit ago, I guess people are still submitting it. So once we get it all, a more recent version will be uploaded to the member portal.
If you have submitted the Q4 quarterly reporting to me, it is in this table now.
Okay.
And this will be, I believe this will be on the agenda for approval by at least for a review by the full authority at the end of the month. But this is self-reporting, so there is no, hard and fast deadline. Please update it as much as you can. Sometimes in our history, people have had to go back and correct spending from, 8 quarters ago because the finance department had some adjustments to make, and that's fine. Just let us know so we can update the records.
Okay.
You, Amy?
Okay, thank you. So Chet, you're saying that how long approximately does it take for you to update the spreadsheet? So I can't see right now what you have for us, but I'll go on and look. But generally speaking, once we upload it into the portal, it's not automatically updated. You're going in and making those updates yourself?
Yes, because there's a master spreadsheet that has all 9 jurisdictions in it.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, what you're showing there doesn't reflect what everything I sent to you. So I'll go back in and see what you've got. And I guess one just other comment. I think the deadline that you gave us was like the 15th of July for Q4. Correct?
Correct. Can everybody see the member portal?
So 15 days after a quarter, typically we haven't received all of the invoices from contractors or consultants. So there typically is some reconciliation that needs to happen after this has been submitted to you, because we've received invoices that, were expended in Q4, right? So there's a little bit of a lag, more than 2 weeks, from getting invoices to what you're saying, updating and giving you the information from Q4. So there will be modifications and updates, at least from my perspective.
Okay, thank you for that comment. Does anybody else have anything to add? Okay, our last informational item concerns the bonding exercise, and let's hear about it, Chet.
Sure. Thank you. I don't want anyone to be alarmed or take any kind of meaning from this, other than this is the first time any of us are seeing a list of projects to be considered for a bond issuance. And the goal here, as we've discussed, was to not really look at the types of projects, the scope of projects, or any of that at this point. It's to understand from a financial standing what the breadth of a bond issuance might look like. So we had an August 1st due date for bond projects to be considered. Everyone had guidelines that were issued by the authority in terms of what needed to be submitted, the types of information. Everyone could submit one project per locality. So after the August 1st date, this is the listing of projects that has been received. And you've done your job. So thank you all very much. We worked individually when there were questions on, particular components of what information was needed. And we've got all that in hand now. So the TAC has done what it's been asked to do at this point. And the next step is to take this and discuss it with the Finance Directors Working Group to put them in a room together with our financial advisors at PFM and Bond Counsel, and start to figure out what the implications of this project list are for bond issuance, and what's realistic, what's not realistic. And they will come back with I think some ground rules is the best way to describe it right now, for how to move forward with consideration of projects for an initial bond offering. Once that happens, Finance Committee will be keyed in, TAC will be keyed in, and we'll figure out what the next iteration of analysis needs to be, or refinement, if that's the case. So this is where we are right now. It's an information item. We're kind of taking this, as I said, as a first step, and we'll be back in touch with you, Mr. Chair, to understand what the next request of TAC is in regards to this issuance, and move forward from there. In terms of timeline, the goal is to have this happen concurrently. We've had this discussion a little bit in the past, concurrently with round 4, so that once we know what round 4 allocations are shaping up to be, we'll be able to consider a bond issuance shortly after, and be able to hopefully address multiple needs through both of these revenue tools.
Okay, thank you. That summary. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this? I have a few. So just kind of scanning the list, one of the things that struck me is that, we were looking for projects that could be accomplished within a 2-year time frame, and at least based upon, the schedules and so forth, it looks like we are, well beyond that. So that's kind of note. And, I guess the other comment I would make is that I mean, at least for Hanover County, our project has not been vetted with our transportation committee or our board. So, we viewed this as a planning exercise, quite frankly. So, in order to turn something back around with a formal, request that would, I'm not sure that lines up with the time frame that you said later this year, maybe having something. Um, we would need more time.
Okay, that's good information.
Okay, anybody else have anything to add? All right, moving right along then. Item 10 is opportunity for TAC member comments. Anybody wish to address the TAC? Okay, seeing none, then our next meeting is September 8th at 2025 at 1 p.m. We did this in just about under 45 minutes, so that's a win. And you guys have a great rest of the day. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, thanks.
Good job, Mo.
Yes.